Say, if you've been watching my reviews lately, you know that I've been telling you that at this time of year, when everyone is considering year-end awards, uh, performances, and what have you, productions, you get a lot of movies that, well, they're called actors' vehicles. They're just to mainstream an actor's performance in a given movie, not necessarily that the movie is all that good. And sometimes you get movies that want to try to capture gold simply because they have well, a cause celebre that they are promoting within the storyline of the movie. You know, tonight's movie actually has both of those. The difference is this one was actually good to watch. Cinematic class is about to begin. Your professor is in. Greetings, salutations, and other sundry affairs. I am your cinematic professor and a purveyor of truth in movies. Tonight's lesson plan is a film called CAGED. This one is really kind of interesting, and I kind of enjoyed watching this one. One of the main reasons is the acting of our main character, Dr. Harlow Reed, and he is played by Edie Gathegi. Ooh, this guy does a really good job in this movie. Quite convincing. Okay. What we have here is a prisoner who has been put into solitary confinement. Now, this is no run of the mill street thug type prisoner. This is an educated man. He is a doctor. He's accused of killing his wife. He claims he didn't do it. Most people claim they never did it. Okay. Is he telling the truth? Did he not kill his wife? Or is he guilty as sin? And how is he going to figure all this out while he's in solitary confinement? The cause that the director, I should get you his name, Aaron Figelman, he not only wrote it, he directed it as well. The cause that he wants to put out are the plight of some 80,000 people in America who are trapped in solitary confinement, and how the solitary confinement actually damages them. Uh, Probably, I think he's making the case more harshly than their crimes deserve. That's a moral situation for another discussion. As far as the movie is concerned, he does a real nice job in trying to present the trials and tribulations of solitary confinement as seen through Dr. Reed here. Some of the other people involved in this, the director of photography was Jessica Young. She's done a very nice job in capturing this, and they throw in some elements of, for lack of a better, some elements of horror. Okay, Dr. Reed begins to see things when he is by himself for so many days, and faces in the wall and what have you, and his dead wife coming back to him. And some of the special effects that they use in this are worthwhile. Also starring in this is Officer Sachs, played by Melora Hardin. Boy, she's a hard ass, huh? This woman just wants to have these prisoners killed. She's got an anti-man thing going on. We all know people like that, right? Amber Reed, who is the wife who is dead and keeps showing up in the flashbacks, is played by Angela Sarah Fyan. And Tony Amendola, good old character actor you'll all recognize, pops in a couple of scenes as Warren Perez. All told, they do a nice job, but this is definitely Eddie's show, and he puts out a pretty good performance in this. You know, the stats that show up at the end of the movie kind of put it in perspective, and you see what he was going through to get to this thing. And the way they present the ending is open to interpretation. So if any of you are cynical, you can read into it whatever you want. Personally, I rather go by just what's up there on the celluloid, and the ending for me was, well, shall we say, judicious. I will put out another quirk on this, and that is that Dr. Reed and his wife Amber are an interracial couple. And it seemed from maybe, oh, I want to say July through the end of the year, maybe even earlier than that, there were a plethora of movies that were released that featured interracial couples, and every time bad things happened to these people. It's almost as if Hollywood, who is trying to push a very multicultural and diverse agenda, is saying if you're in an interracial relationship, bad stuff's going to happen to you. And by God, if it doesn't happen to this couple in this movie as well, would make you kind of raise your eyebrow and say, whoa, wait a minute here. Yeah, this might not be all fun and roses getting into this type of thing. So we have another one where, and I haven't seen a film. I'll have to check, work on the 56K, but I haven't seen a film that had a happy interracial couple since I think Motherless Brooklyn with Edward Norton. I think that's the last one where I saw it. Every other interracial couple is getting either chased by ghosts or you know thrown into jail, murders involved, guys hunting them. It's just wow, it's just one of those things. I don't know what they're trying to prove by doing it. And the other thing I'll leave you with on this movie is I rail a lot about movies that push an agenda, and that agenda is more important than making a quality film. And this happens far too frequently in Hollywood. Caged is the exception to that complaint. All right. He had an agenda he wanted to do. He wanted to show the horrors of solitary confinement. Okay, that's fine. But he did it in an entertaining fashion. You truly are guessing throughout this movie whether Dr. Reed is guilty or not. It's hard to tell. Some of the flashbacks seem to counteract and countermand one another. So it's presented in a way that you can enjoy the film. You can, ride with the characters until the conclusion. And then at the end, when you see the stats and what have you, you can see where he's trying to make his point. What this one doctor went through is indicative of the service and that possibly it needs change. You can do an agenda, you can put out your cause celebrate, and you can still make the movie entertaining. This one is proof. Now that you have learned what you have learned, here endeth your lesson.